o'clock in the morning. We are somewhere in northern France. We're at the Aire du Villiers. Just travelled about 250 kilometres down from the Eurotunnel port, so we're just going to stop here for a few hours just to get a little bit of rest and get ourselves ready for heading off early in the morning down to our campsite down in Burgundy. So hopefully get a little bit of sleep and be able to continue our journey refreshed in a little while. Okay, Harry?
Yep.
So we stop for breakfast.
Yes.
What is it?
Probably 6.
No, well, 10 to 6 UK time, 10 to 7 French time. We're probably about 2 hours away from our campsite, but we've got loads of time before we get there, so we're going to have some brioche, tea, some croissants, some fruit at our little air breakfast. Welcome to camping Huttopia Meursault, which is going to be our home for the next 3 nights. So we're going to get checked in, settle in, and hopefully enjoy some lovely weather here in the Burgundy region of France.
Yes.
So after a long overnight drive with a 3-hour break, admittedly, we've finally arrived here at our campsite for the first 3 nights of our trip, and it's beautiful, absolutely stunning. So I'll show you our pitch in a second, show you the location, and it really is stunning. But just to bring you up to speed with our travel, the journey as it was, because we did have a few hiccups. So as you saw in the initial part of the video, we'd had problems with Ben's COVID test. So enough about that, enough about the COVID side and the testing side. I might touch a little bit on it in another video just to try and break it down to the simple steps as to what we've done. But let me just show you and tell you a little bit about where we are now. So we've travelled down around about 500 miles, and for you California owners out there who are interested in fuel economy, I got best part of 600 miles out of the tank on the journey, so that's brilliant, including the range that was left showing when I was topping up. So we refueled, having covered 550 miles, and van still said 45-mile range to go, which is really good economy. And we had a 3-hour sleep break overnight where we stopped at one of the airs coming down the autoroute, and got a good sort of power nap that enabled us just to then blast on through those. So we actually arrived at the campsite here. We are approximately 15 kilometres outside of Beaune in a small town stroke village called Meursault. And surprise, surprise, if those of you who've watched my videos will know, it's another Huttopia site. It's one we haven't stayed at before. It's a new one, and I have to say it's really, really nice, and I'll give you a little bit of a tour on it later in the video. But let me just show you quickly our setup and see what you think. So for those of you who've watched our videos before, you'll know that we take our California and then we also bring a tent alongside. This may be the last time that we bring our tent with us, because the There's 4 of us this time. Sam's not come with us, he's at university, and we probably don't need such a big tent, so it's probably just a little bit too much for us given what we're used to set up and just use the California. But you know, maybe we can adjust and get either a smaller tent, a driveway awning, or maybe go for something completely different, who knows. But so we've got our Outwell Bear Lake all set up, nice big pitch, beautiful view from the pitch, which I'll show you turning around. So across the vineyards, and absolutely stunning. It's 31 degrees here this afternoon, so very, very nice. I know the weather back home in England has been pretty good this weekend, but can't beat summer in French sunshine. So the van's all set up nicely in the shade. There's a nice sycamore tree on the pitch, which is giving us plenty of shade in the heat. And the boys will sleep up top in the van, maybe together, maybe one at a time. I know that some people will say, well, why have you got a California and then you take a tent with you? But we've had our tent now for 5 or 6 years, and it's been brilliant, and it's really suited us as a family. So, as I said earlier on, it's probably the last time we need to bring such a big tent with us. But it's good to have the space. And as I said, I'm just trying to work out in my mind whether we change our setup with our existing California, get a smaller tent, maybe consider an ocean, or maybe consider something completely different. The van performed faultlessly though, so 500 miles. One of the absolute best things about this van, in my opinion, on these long trips is we optioned it with adaptive cruise control. The adaptive cruise control, adaptive LED headlights just makes the long journeys, especially overnight, so much easier. So whilst it's hard work, and it is a strain on you as the driver, it just makes a big difference to be able to cover long distances comfortably, safely, and arriving at our destination nice and early. So we arrived here 9:30, having had 3 or 4 hours stopover overnight, and the staff here were great and said, yeah, not a problem, you're not technically due here till 2 o'clock this afternoon, but the pitch is available and you're good to go to check in. So we're all set up and pitched up by 1 o'clock, which was brilliant. So we've managed to enjoy the afternoon, enjoy the swim in the pool, have a little look around, and we're going to get ready and have a nice evening meal later. So I know that some people are really pristine and tidy when they're camping. We're not. We're a family. We love to just enjoy ourselves and settle in as quickly as we can when we get here. So there's bits and pieces. Some of it's organised, some of it's not. Toys and games out and about. Harry was keen to get in the pool. We've done that already, but we really like it here, don't we? Yeah. Never been before, and it's a lovely site. So we're all settled in, and we're going to enjoy the next 3 nights here. So if you enjoyed what you've seen so far, remember to hit the button to like and subscribe, and follow us on our trip around France this summer. So we've taken a drive out today from the campsite to Beaune to have a walk around this historic town. Some amazing architecture, a couple of fabulous old churches, but a very, very interesting road system, so quite easy to get lost whilst you're driving around. But we've made it so far. We found somewhere to park. We're just going to have a wander and enjoy the sights. So we've just taken a walk down into Meursault, and we're going to go and see if we can try some wine from the local vineyards at the caves. Came out, so we've enjoyed our first wine tasting, and we've bought 3 bottles of feeling rosy, and bought 3 bottles to enjoy later, all from the local vineyards. So on our final day here in the Burgundy region of France, so we've had a lovely day. We popped this morning to Beaune, had a wander around the historic old town centre, and it's some spectacular architecture, some very impressive old buildings, and they've all got these amazing tiled roofs with multicoloured tiles. And then I had a look around the Basilica de Notre Dame, if I'm getting that correct. That's the Catholic, Roman Catholic church in the centre of town, and then enjoyed wandering around the local vicinity as well. And then this afternoon we popped into Meursault to go and do some wine tasting, and I really enjoyed tasting some product from the vineyards that are just behind me over there. So this bottle of wine here is made using grapes that were grown in these very vineyards, and we tasted 3 or 4 different types, and it's amazing, even just tasting a bottle of wine using grapes that were made half a mile down the road, how different that can actually be, all to do with the location, the aspect of the soil, the direction, the altitude. Who knew it was so complicated? So we're going to save these for a special occasion when we get back to the UK, and move on to our next destination tomorrow. So tonight's our last night here. We'll pack up first thing in the morning, and then we've got a drive all the way across France, where we're going to head to Sarlat for the next 5 days. So if you enjoyed following this so far, then please remember to hit the button to like and subscribe, and then you can follow the rest of our trip as we head around France this summer on our campervan adventure. So thanks for watching, and look forward to seeing you very soon. Cheers.